Hello guys, so today I'm going to show you how to use Alohomora, which is a tool that I created for performing evil twin attack. Now to create this tool I have used Bash and Python. I've also used some HTML, CSS and PHP for it. Now if you're watching this video, then chances are that you are interested in ethical hacking, and probably you know about what evil twin attack is. But for those who do not know about it, evil twin attack is used for cracking Wi-Fi passwords. Now, these days everyone uses WPA and WPA2 for security, which is basically uncrackable. I mean, we can try to capture the four-way handshake and then brute force the WPA key or the password, but honestly, it will take a lot of time, and it will not guarantee us that we will get the password. I mean, you will need some serious luck for this to work, you know. But in Evil Twin, what we do is that we create a fake AP with the same SSID. So SSID is nothing but the name of the Wi-Fi network. So once you have created the Evil Twin of your target access point, simultaneously we will send deauth packets or deauthentication packets, so that the client gets disconnected with the real AP and is not able to reconnect to it. Now, eventually what will happen is that they will have to connect to our evil twin, and once they are connected to our evil twin, a login page will be loaded on their default web browser, which will be hosted on our Apache 2 server. We'll come to that later. But this is how we will get our password. The victim will enter their password into our login page, and from there on we will get the password. Now we can verify this password by using the four-way handshake that we will capture in this process. So this was the basic overview of Evil Twin and how it works. So to use Alohomora, we will need Kali Linux, and we will also need a Wi-Fi adapter. And on our Kali Linux, we will need some additional programs as well. I have written a script that will download the programs for you on your Kali Linux, and I have provided a link to my GitHub repo in my description. You can get it from there along with the tool, of course. So let's just go through the dependencies that are required. First one is host APD. So host APD is sort of an acronym for host access point daemon. It is a user space software access point capable of turning network interface cards into access points, or in simple words, it creates the fake AP. Now you can use Airbus NG for creating the fake AP as well, but from what I have experienced, it comes with a lot of issues. Like sometimes it tends to work and sometimes it just doesn't work. And therefore I have opted for using this host APD, and we will continue with that. Once we have installed host APD in our system, we'll need to configure it. And for configuring it, we'll have to write a configuration file for host APD. So let me just show you how it looks like. So this is the configuration file for host APD. Now let me just zoom in a little bit. Alright. So as you can see, it contains our monitor mode network interface. Monitor mode wireless network interface, which we are going to use. And it also contains the SSID of our target AP, which is this one. And we do not have to write this manually. Alohomora will do it for us. Basically, it will just extract all the information about our target AP, and then it will write this configuration file on its own. Although we don't have to write this manually, but it is always a good idea, to know about what is going on, so that we can debug it later if it is required.
With host APD, we will be able to make a fake AP, but we will also need a DHCP server for giving IP addresses to the clients connecting to our fake AP, and a DNS server to fulfill their DNS requests. For this, we will be using DNS Musk, and I'm not really sure if it is the correct way to pronounce it, but for the time being, we will stick to it. And similar to host APD, we need to configure DNS Musk as well by writing configuration file for it. But unlike host APD, we need to write the configuration file for DNS Musk manually. And you can write your own configuration file, or you can use the one that I'm using. You can find it on my GitHub repo. Let me just go through the configuration file for the DNS Musk quickly. So we just need to have some basic understanding of what is going on here with this configuration file, so that if something goes wrong, we can debug it. Over here, we have provided the name of the monitor mode wireless interface that we will be using. And this DHCP range option is used to specify the range of addresses available for lease. In other words, when a client connects to our fake AP, it will be given an address from this range that is specified over here. And DHCP option 3 is used to provide the default gateway, and this DHCP option 6 is for DNS server. So basically, in our case, we want our victims to use the DNS server that we provide. We do not want them to use the DNS server provided by the gateway. So for that, we use this option 6. And this server option, it is used to specify the DNS server that we want to use. This 8.8.8.8 is a public DNS server provided by Google. Now, if you want to use a different DNS server, you can just look it up. There are many different DNS server available. So this log query option over here tells DNS mux to log each DNS query as it passes through it. So whenever the client connected to our fake AP makes a DNS query, we will be able to see it in our terminal. And this log DHCP, this option is used to basically log the DHCP information. And this listen address option is used to specify the loopback address. And this option over here is used to redirect the request made by clients connected to our fake AP to the local web server, which in our case is Apache 2. Alright, now with this much information about the configuration options available for host APD and DNS Musk, I think we should be comfortable with using them. And now we just need to configure Apache 2 server and we'll be good to go.
Before we begin with discussing Apache 2 configuration, I just want to let you know that we can perform our attack with the default Apache 2 configurations as well. The only difference is that with the default Apache 2 configuration, the HTTPS and HSTS requests will not get redirected to our login page hosted on Apache 2. But apart from that, every other request will get redirected fine. And along with the configuration changes, we'll also have to implement SSL, which is a rather trivial process, I think. You can also find many resources for it on the internet, or maybe I can make a video discussing that as well. So yeah, after we are done with all the installations and configurations of the prerequisites, now finally we can perform the attack. So let's just clean things a little bit. And now I will run the script and just sort of walk you through with it to let you know about what is going on and what are the inputs that we are supposed to provide and everything. Alright, so let's just run the script then. So one of the first thing that Alohomora does is that it kills the network manager and WPA supplicant. It also finds and puts the wireless interface into monitor mode, and after that it simply asks us to select the type of attack that we want to perform. So normally we want to perform the capture handshake first to capture the four-way handshake. But let's say that you already have captured the handshake, then you can just simply go ahead with evil twin attack. But in this video we will capture the handshake first and then we will move on to evil twin attack. So after we have decided to perform capture handshake attack, we'll have to sniff for beacon frames. Now beacon frames are one of the management frames and they are transmitted by the access points to announce their presence. So we have to sniff for beacon frames actually, so that we can gather information about the access points available out there. And we have to enter the time for how long we want to sniff. Normally I would say about 10 to 15 seconds is a good sniffing time period. And once sniffing is done, all the access points available will be shown on the terminal along with some additional information. Now you will have to enter the index corresponding to your target AP. So for example, let's say we want to select Vivo 1917 whose index is 2. So we will enter 2 over here. And once we have entered the index of our target AP, the handshake capturing process starts. Now we have two options over here. Either we can wait for one of the client to reconnect to our target AP, or we can send deauth packets periodically after waiting for some time in order to disconnect the client from our target AP and then allow it to reconnect to it so that we can get the handshake. So in my implementation I have chose to send deauth packets rather than waiting to speed up the process. Now for deauth attack we have to provide the number of cycles of deauth attack and the waiting time after performing each deauth attack. And now the deauth attack has started. We just have to wait for a while. Here we go, looks like we have captured the four-way handshake. Yeah. So now we just have to close this deauth attack window because we do not have to perform deauth attack since we have already captured the four-way handshake, and we will close this window as well. And now we will have to wait for some time. Yeah, okay. So now since we already have captured the handshake, we will perform the evil twin attack now. And now we have to select the brand of the AP, and based on our selection our login page will be hosted on Apache 2 server. And now it is starting Apache server, and if you have implemented SSL then you will have to enter passphrase, and after that it is configuring host APD, and like I said before, we do not have to do it manually. Alohomora will be doing it for us, and after configuring it, it will create the fake AP and then it will start it. So it has started the fake AP, and now it will do a bunch of things like it will assign IP to our monitor mode interface, it will start the DHCP server, and it will also configure the IP tables, and after that it will enable IP forwarding as well. Okay, so as you can see, another deauth attack has been started, and if we have the MAC address of a specific client connected to our target AP, we can provide it over here, or we can go on with the default deauth command. Now this particular deauth attack is used for disconnecting the client or clients connected to our target AP and to keep them disconnected so that eventually the clients will connect to our fake access point. And also over here we are simultaneously verifying the passwords entered by the clients or the victims that are connected to our fake AP. Okay, so now we just have to wait till someone enters the correct password, and it will be verified by using the four-way handshake that we captured earlier. But for this video, I will enter the correct password myself so that we can see what happens when someone enters the correct password. Okay, so as you can see, the victim is getting disconnected from our target AP because of the deauth attack that we are doing, and eventually it has to connect to our fake AP. And as soon as it connects to our fake AP, it is being redirected to the login page that is being hosted on the Apache 2 server. Alright, so looks like we got the password. So I hope I was able to explain how to use Alohomora. And one more thing, I haven't created this tool to help you steal Wi-Fi passwords. Rather, I wanted to spread awareness about Evil Twin so that you do not fall into this trap. Alright then, so thank you for being till the end and have a nice day.